we are experiencing is another vendetta, and this is not justice, an opportunity for all Ghanaians, rather persecution. They promise constitutional reform, but we don't trust them. What they are doing is not constitutional reform, but they are attempting to create a Trojan horse for perhaps, if not lifetime presidency, a third-term presidency. Already, we have heard the national chairman of the NDC complaining bitterly about the internal struggle for succession. The NDC is abandoning governance and rather thinking of their party interests. Why would the national chairman, no less a person than Mr. Asedu Nkatia, boldly go on radio in less than 90 days be talking about that internal problem? We are also aware that another group in the NDC are pushing for a third term for President Dramani Mahama. Is the reason why, instead of the promised governance and constitutional reforms, we are seeing a new agenda. What we know is that there is a sinister and diabolical plot firmly underway to tighten the president's grip on power and prolong his days in office. So they knew that the firmness of the Chief Justice will not allow this. So they started to unleash their attack dogs on the Chief Justice to try and clear out of the way so that they will have their way. But we, the minority, today tell the NDC government they will never have their way. We see diabolical schemes. We read the signals and we say this clearly. Ghana is not a monarchy. We will not be ruled for life. We will not let one man's desire for autocracy and unchecked power rewire the constitution to suit the ambitions of a desperate party. So the hawks in the NDC who are so power drunk and are pushing through this third-term agenda, let them stay their hands. The other hawks in the NDC who are thinking succession and are not making it possible for the president to govern, and all they care about is their internal struggle for who succeeds him, we are telling them too that they are hurting the country. The government has already entered it lame dark days, looking at all the signs on the wall. This is affecting the ordinary people, and they should wake up to the reality of their bona fide governance. 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 We are wide awake. The NDC should not be under any false impression that with their 183 plus others in parliament, they will find a way of forcing their way with very unconstitutional reforms through parliament. The mighty minority will not allow them to have their way. We will stand firm with the people of Ghana and fight all illegalities in parliament. We trust that Mr. Speaker would accord us the necessary support to air our views on the floor of the House. Now, let me turn my attention to the private sector. The NDC is collapsing the private sector. The government is punishing producers. On the day of his inauguration, Mr. President called on business leaders to help him shape, quote, an environment where creativity thrives and where fruits of their labor contribute to the collective welfare of our nation, end quote. But 120 days, that appeal has cuddled into betrayal. Businesses across the country, small, medium, and large, are suffocating. Why? Because the very government that promised partnership has become a predator. Yep. Suppliers, contractors, service providers, Ghanaians who finance and fulfill government contracts with their own resources or bank loans have not been paid. Some have been forced to shut down. Others have laid off workers, and countless others have plunged into debt, despair, and ruin. This government is presiding over economic vandalism, masquerading as governance. When the government refuses to pay its debts, it collapses the very economy it claims to lead. Mr. President, you cannot pay the people of Ghana who have sacrificed to work to build our infrastructure, who have supplied to state institutions. You cannot decide not to pay them. This amounts to the government sabotage of business. NDC government, you are ruining the businesses you came to meet. Your actions are becoming a liability. Now, on the import duties, we go on these broken promises on import duties and the COVID-19 levy. In his inaugural speech, the president acknowledged the pain of Ghanaians, promising to change the destiny of this nation of ours. But this government continues to allow what he had called during his days in opposition, crashing levies and regressive taxes on the backs of the sovereign people of Ghana. He promised to review and reduce import duties to make easier for traders, importers and consumers. He has not. He promised to abolish the COVID-19 health recovery levy because the pandemic is long past and the people's pockets are exhausted. He has not. Instead, this government has maintained and even compounded the cost of living for every Ghanaian household. Prices continue to surge, markets remain unstable, and traders groan under taxes that, by his own standards, serve no current purpose but enrich a bloated state machinery. Promises under the NDC government are no more sacred. They are just tools for winning elections and excuses for not governing. Betrayal of industrialization, killing jobs, killing hope. The president pledged in January to implement a 24-hour economy to stimulate, quotes, to stimulate local industries and attract investment, end quotes. But instead of building upon the 1D1F initiative, a bold, pragmatic program that used tax incentives to ignite industrialization across Ghana, the government of President Mahama has shelved it. The government has discarded it, abandoned it, and killed it. Factories that were planned under the previous administration now sit idle. Investment plans have stalled. Thousands of potential jobs have vanished before they could materialize. The message to investors in our economy is loud and clear. You are not safe here anymore. Mr. President, your reset is not a lifeline for the economy. It is suffocating lockdown on production. You are not creating jobs. You are killing them. Now it is rich to hear the president tell us in Sona that the flagship projects, the flagship program, 24-hour economy, also known as 133, one job, 3 shifts, would find space in the 2025 budgets. That is what the president told us. That Dr. Forsen, his finance minister, will pronounce on the 24-hour economy. But what did we hear? Another matricle. When Dr. Forsen appeared before the House with a budget statement, no mention was made of the 24-hour economy, their own famous flagship program. What Dr. Forsen promised us was that, oh, the 24-hour economy is being considered. And yesterday, as typical of them, they have inaugurated another committee. They said there's another committee responsible for enacting the 24-hour economy. Hey, President Mahama. Hey, President Mahama. Hey, President Mahama. About saying 24-hour economy at Tonsium, you promised that you were going to create the enabling environment for businesses to thrive. This should find space in your first year budget. If you really mean business, in your first year budget, that should feature. The government has failed us. Government of lamentation, government of talk, and less action. What did they say to the women? The women banking. They went to the market. They said that there will be women banking. Every town, every city, every region will have the bank being established. During the vetting, when we asked them, they said they were going to put the necessary support systems in place to get the licenses for this new bank. In their 2025 budget, the Women Banking Initiative was allocated a paltry sum of 50 million cedis. 50 million cedis. And to me, the market women in Winneba, Yamobia 2,000 Ghana cedis cry. Ebe, President Mahama. Ebe, President Mahama. Ebe. Menyo. Menyo. Yeah. Yet they gave over 6 billion to their so-called Galamsey board, that gold board that they established. What is it for? Convert $275 million into cedis and get the cedi. They abandoned their own flagship initiatives and agriculture in the budget. They only allocated a paltry sum of 1.5 billion cedis. Even if you break the 1.5 billion cedis down, 950 million alone is for compensation. So the Erikopoku, the agric minister sitting at the ministry, is a redundant minister. I don't know the work that the agric minister is doing at the ministry, because there's no budget for his ministry. How are they going to implement the Nkukon Kitinkiti? And then they loaded a lot of money under that so-called big push, which we are going to scrutinize. They did nothing for agriculture. They did nothing for the women banking. Yet they are promoting Galamsey. How do you say that you are establishing a gold board that is going to buy equipment for small-scale miners? How? It is a requirement. Go and read the Minerals Commission Act. If you want to go into mining, one of the requirements is to show your financial capability. You must show that you have the means to go into mining. So if a government tells you that it's going to buy equipment for miners, you should take it with a pinch of salt. What they are telling us indirectly is that their party boys involved in Galamsey are going to get equipment, and they say they are going to give them soft loans. Really, government going to give loans for mining? They should tell us plainly that they are rather buying equipment, giving them money to promote Galamsey, and that is what we see.